Jennifer Joyce Kesse was 24 years old when she vanished. It was January 2006, and Jennifer was living in Orlando, Florida. She was smart, successful, and independent. A graduate of the University of Central Florida, she'd landed a job as a financial analyst at Westgate Resorts and had just bought her own condo in the Mosaic at Millennia Complex, a gated community not far from downtown. She had a good life, a promising career, a close family, and a serious boyfriend named Rob Allen, who lived a few hours away in Fort Lauderdale. By all accounts, Jennifer was happy and focused on the future. But then, one day, she was gone. It began on Monday, January 23rd. Jennifer had just returned from a weekend trip to the Virgin Islands with Rob. She drove back to Orlando, called her family that night, and spoke to Rob on the phone before bed. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The next morning, Tuesday, January 24th, Jennifer was supposed to show up for a 7:30 a.m. meeting at work. She never arrived. Her co-workers called her phone, but there was no answer. Her family began to worry almost immediately. Jennifer was punctual and responsible. She didn't just not show up for work. By 11 a.m., her employer contacted her parents, and by 3 p.m., her mom and dad, Drew and Joyce Kesse, were in their car driving 2 hours from Tampa to her condo. When they arrived, nothing seemed disturbed. Jennifer's car was missing, but inside the condo, everything looked normal. Her clothes from the trip were laid out. Her shower looked recently used. Makeup was still on the counter. Her bed looked slept in. It looked like she had gotten up, gotten ready, and then simply vanished on her way out the door. By that night, Jennifer was officially reported missing. Orlando police launched a search. Detectives canvassed the neighborhood. They interviewed friends, family, co-workers, and her boyfriend. They called hospitals, checked flights, put out alerts. Nothing. 2 days later, on January 26th, there was a break. Jennifer's black Chevy Malibu was found in a nearby apartment complex about a mile away from her home. It was parked in a visitor space in Huntington on the Green, an area known for high crime and drug activity. The driver's seat was pushed back, suggesting someone taller than Jennifer had driven it. Inside the car, police found nothing unusual. Her phone, purse, briefcase, and work ID were missing. But there were no signs of struggle, no fingerprints, no DNA, nothing that would suggest what happened to her. But there was one thing: security cameras. Surveillance footage from the Huntington on the Green complex showed someone parking Jennifer's car at noon on the day she disappeared. The video caught 3 still images of the person walking away. But there was a catch. The footage was taken from a system that captured 1 frame every 3 seconds. And in all 3 images, the person's face was obscured by a gate post, perfectly positioned to block their identity each time. Police couldn't tell if the person was a man or woman, tall or short. All they had was a blurry figure wearing white clothing and walking calmly away from Jennifer's car. To this day, no one knows who it was. As weeks turned into months, the investigation hit a wall. Detectives interviewed over 100 people. They looked into Jennifer's relationships, her ex-boyfriends, co-workers, maintenance workers at her complex. Rob, her boyfriend at the time, was thoroughly questioned and passed a polygraph. Nothing came of it. One early theory was that Jennifer may have been abducted while leaving for work, possibly as she got into her car in the condo parking lot. But no neighbors reported seeing or hearing anything unusual that morning. There was also speculation about construction workers. At the time, the Mosaic at Millennia Complex was still under development. Some of the workers had reportedly made Jennifer uncomfortable in the days leading up to her disappearance. She had even mentioned to friends and family that she didn't feel safe walking through the property. But none of those leads panned out. The workers were questioned, backgrounds were checked, no evidence was ever found. In the years that followed, Jennifer's family never gave up. They launched massive awareness campaigns, passed out thousands of flyers, hired private investigators, set up a dedicated tip line. They were relentless. But the police investigation, that stalled. In 2010, the Orlando Police Department officially classified Jennifer's case as cold. And in 2018, 12 years after she vanished, her family filed a lawsuit against the city for access to her case files. They won. The police turned over 16,000 pages of records and hundreds of hours of video. That same year, the Kesse family took control of the investigation. Private investigators working for the family reanalyzed the case from scratch. One theory they pursued was that Jennifer may have been watched, stalked, possibly by someone in the complex or working construction. They pointed to the controlled way her car was parked and the cool demeanor of the unknown person walking away in the surveillance footage. But despite fresh eyes and renewed energy, there was still no hard evidence. No verified sightings, no remains, no suspect. To this day, the figure caught on camera, leaving Jennifer's car, remains unidentified, and Jennifer Kesse remains missing. As of now, it has been more than 18 years since Jennifer Kesse was last seen. She would be in her 40s today. Her case is still open, still unsolved, and still being investigated by her family, who remain determined to bring her home. They believe someone out there knows the truth, and they're still waiting for that person to come forward.